Welcome back to New Rockstars. The second episode of Loki confirmed what we've been speculating about for months, that causing much of this chaos is a female Loki variant. But what if she's not the actual villain the TVA is making her out to be? This is Rogue Theory, the show where we pitch the wildest theories for the titles we love. I'm Erik Voss. Going rogue with me today is MT.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? What's going on, everybody? Let's get rogue.
Let's get rogue. Also here with us is Jess Clemons. Hello, Jessica.
I need a hero. Oh, sorry. I love this episode, and the beginning of it was really good. Hey. I'm so excited to talk about episode 2.
And joining us today, special guest, our friend and comedian, Matt Acevedo.
Hey, it's good to be back. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
What's going on? All right, let's talk about this episode of Loki. So, in the second episode, we finally meet the Loki variant that the TVA has been hunting down. Sophia DiMartino playing a female Loki. Now, this could be Lady Loki, just based on the TVA identifying her as a Loki variant. Loki's sex being listed as fluid on the forums. That one broken horn on her crown that, that kind of looks like how Lady Loki looks in the comics. But really, this whole idea that this woman might be a female body that Loki's soul possessed, since we know they can do kind of soul swapping, consciousness swapping with this version of the character. But if you look at this episode's international credits, and actually another clue that you see earlier in the episode on forum where it says Sylvie Lushton, which is like a Laufey daughter instead of Laufey's son, we think this character could just be named Sylvie, which might make her based on Sylvie Lushton, Enchantress, from that same comic run. So we're not really sure exactly what direction they're going. I'm thinking it could be just a mix of both characters, like maybe after Loki's death by Thanos in Infinity War, his soul might have reattached to some Oklahoma woman named Sylvie, and that became the State Trent variant. Or there's some other alternate timeline where instead of Laufey's son, it became Laufey's daughter, and that's who Sylvie is. But we have to ask, do you think this female variant could be working on behalf of or maybe against some greater threat? Because they introduced her so early. So what do you think this female variant's connection will ultimately be with the core conflict of this series? Is she the big bad, or is there someone else in the shadows still?
I don't think that this Lady Loki or this Sylvie character, whoever she ends up being, is going to be the big bad of the series. Because like Jess said before, we do hear that, I need a hero, when she first, appears and kills all those people. And though killing does not make you a hero, I'm not saying that right now, she does, Loki does tend to, when he is this, good person, he does do good things in a not so great way. So I think that we have this Loki variant, potentially being a hero, but killing all these people for her own ends. And I think that the mysterious real villain of the show could actually be Mobius. Because I really do think that Mobius is Loki. I know this sounds crazy. And this is why I'm bringing it up on Rogue Theory, because I'm going real rogue here. But there's just something about the way that the show is shot and the conversations between Loki and Mobius that makes me feel like Lady Loki is going after Mobius himself. She wants Mobius specifically. And Mobius is like, all right, I'm not going to go out and expose myself. I'm going to let, the TVA agents get killed. And he's just trying to bring down this Lady Loki specifically because she has his number. She wants him dead. So
I mean, don't you think if she was after Mobius, she had the God's eye view of that entire superstore? Why would she have gone to B-15 and Loki and messed with them? Why wouldn't she just walked over to Mobius and messed with him? And
because this is true. I don't know. Maybe Loki's working mysterious ways, but I just don't trust Mobius Loki. I think that there's a grander plan going on, and via time travel, maybe Mobius Loki or she knows more information that we are not privy to, which is why she did what she did.
You know what I was thinking, MT, when I was watching this episode? I kept being like, MT is so... He thinks Mobius is a Loki. I need to pay attention to everything he does to see what is Loki of him. And then I was like, so I'm asking you this question, I guess. What is the chance that he is he who remains? What if Mobius is the oldest living time keeper? What if because I feel in the comics, yeah, he's old and whatever and prehistoric. But what if in this, he's just someone that doesn't really age in the TVA and he's undercover, or not even undercover. He's just yeah, I'm the oldest variant and you're all this stuff up, and how can I get in this but with just working closer to you? Do you think that's a situation that could possibly happen, or are you just you're like, no, he has to be
first of all, I like how you said undercover, because you just described undercover boss. Because like he who remains hiding in the TVA. I'm spying on my employees today, making sure that they're doing what they need
that
to
is
do. Undercover
wait,
boss.
talk to SNL, do another sketch of this. You can direct it, MT. That's actually a great idea. No one copy it. That's actually very
to add on to MT's theory though, like, I didn't think about this. I'm not gonna lie. You came in, guns blazing. I'm like, whoa! I didn't think of that. But to add on to it, there is this really great exchange between Loki and Mobius, and that exchange they're talking about, like, Loki's talking about how I'm come from Asgard. What's weird about that? And they talk about life and how like we don't know what everyone's life is like and stuff like that. And then Mobius starts talking about like, yeah, I was born here. I'm lucky I was born here. I got to live this like pretty safe life, and to add to that, maybe that is Loki trying to get away from like the chaos that is his space drama family of Asgard and Jotunheim, and him wanting to be have something a little more day to day. Maybe that is Loki. I kind of like that.
Hey, I'm on that Mobius is Loki train hardcore. I don't know why. I just feel it in my bones. But yes,
it would be great for like a cinematic twist to be like, oh, you've been working with yourself this entire time. But then it still would be so like upsetting to be like, oh, why would you hire this variant Loki when you're a Loki? Couldn't you have found yourself? There's no. I don't know.
Maybe
that's the
Mobius
only quarrel that I would have had.
Going around killing Lokis. Like maybe he's killing like the best Loki so he can be the superior Loki. And then he's like blaming it on this Lady Loki. He's like, oh, she's killing. And like, I don't know. There could be this weird twist.
Or he could be using
really crazy.
He could be using our Loki. He could be using our Loki as the like, oh, this Loki that we're with that keeps running away when we're fighting stuff is the one that's killing people. I'm not killing.
And why else?
Yeah.
Why else?
I don't know.
Why else is he eating? Why else is he drinking Boku juice and Joss soda?
I'm pruning the timeline of Mobius equals Loki. I'm sorry. It's an interesting theory.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it.
Yes.
But
there's lots of questions I have to it. Most of them that completely deflate the argument, but I'm not going to do that here because I want to hopefully see if this comes to pass. Let's bark up another tree, though. Yes. Could there be someone who we have not met yet? There's Richard E. Grant, who's going to be playing some role in this show. Like, I just want to know, what do we think the origins of this female variant are? Is she an alternate timeline Loki who just kind of did like a sex chromosome switching randomly? Was that the variant there? Did Laufey bear a kid in an alternate timeline who just happened to be female? Are they doing Sylvie Lushton? What do you guys think?
I like the idea of her being Sylvie. I love the idea of her being Sylvie, just because we all are like, this is Lady Loki, this is Lady Loki. Also, in the second episode, I know this is Rogue Theory, you guys. We're supposed to read too much into things. There's a part in the episode where she's like, please, you're more like me. So what if there is an alternate timeline where instead of in the original comic books where Sylvie's just like how Wanda brought her kids in is like a piece of a Loki, where it's reversed, where Loki's a piece of her. And so she's just like, I'm your mother at the end of the day. Because we also know that like Hela is like, in mythology is like what, his daughter? Or well, like there's different, like it's like the daughter. Yeah, there's like a sister, a daughter, a partner. There's so many things that there's so many different timelines with Loki that we could have this be like just completely flipped and have Sylvie be the mom, or just like in a different timeline, she created a Loki.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I love that.
I know a lot of people have been saying Kang. I'm like, oh no, Kang. But I part of me feels like it's a little too early for that. And I kind of think, I do think that there is something that I believe this Loki is our Loki. I watch a lot of Doctor Who and it feels very like nice. Oh, like this was meant to happen, all that kind of stuff. I kind of think someone's playing Loki because we're seeing a lot of Loki seeing his failures in the main timeline, seeing him, the death of his family, of Asgard, all this stuff, the death of himself. So I do believe that the variant is our Loki in the future because they're trying. I think they're all about right now. Loki's about redemption. We even hear Owen Wilson, the TVA Owen Wilson. We even hear
I always do that.
Mobius like talking about him, how he's just like this broken child, all this stuff. And I think that someone is playing the variant to kind of do these acts to save what now is Asgard, because there's new Asgard on Earth, and we're seeing a lot of Roxxcart, and I'm thinking that it's actually I think it's the person at top is the CEO of Roxxon, Dario Agger, who
Oh, sure.
I
yeah.
kind of think that because in the comics, Jason Aaron's run deals with all this. It's really great. Dario Agger messes with Thor and deals with new Asgard and kind of manipulates everything to like the fall of Asgard and like all this kind of stuff. I kind of think we're going to see Dario sooner than later. We're seeing a lot of Roxxon everywhere. And I kind of think that he's going to be playing the cards to get Loki to like mess with the time variant as, the TVA to like, and they're going to want to do it to save Asgard and redeem themselves.
Oh,
I like that idea
That
a
is
lot.
such an
Matt,
interesting
that's-
take, bro.
Yeah.
I
Hey.
like it.
Think of Dario
That is
Agger.
I would-
creative, bro.
Makes a lot of sense.
Thanks. Woo, yeah. We're talking time. It's all wibbly wobbly anyways, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
all-
wibbly wobbly,
The whole
timey
thing is
wimey,
fun.
you know the deal.
yeah, it might be Kang, but I think this would be really fun, personally.
So you think that ultimately, like, Asgard is the like heart and soul of this?
I do. I think new Asgard specifically.
New Asgard.
Yeah, I don't.
Not the one in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't think that Loki's gonna not go to New Asgard. I think we're gonna see, this is what has become. Like this is what they are thriving, they are doing this, and then someone's gonna come in and mess with things. You're like, I want to step in and like, I know the ins and outs of the TVA. Let me deal with this.
I like the idea of Asgard being that stronger than the TVA versus Asgard, essentially. Like it's just like the TVA is so big, and it's like, well, I'm doing all this
Yeah.
for Asgard, so
It's kind of sad that Loki wouldn't do this for Jotunheim. It's like his blood,
He never would. He
No
doesn't
way.
give a shit about your nine.
He's all about the
Didn't he try
status.
to destroy Jotunheim in the first one? He was just going to blast the Bifrost?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bifrost
he was
bridge
like,
through it?
that's a good one. That's a rogue theory.
That is.
I like
amazing.
that.
That's a rogue.
That's a rogue.
Jess, do you have any thoughts on who could be a villain, or do you think it's going to be?
Oh
Lady
yeah,
Loki?
I said just that I liked Sylvie as
Oh, yeah.
Sylvie. I don't think it's no. Okay, so that's a different theory.
Yeah.
But I think I'm sticking with my guns, which is kind of vague. But we're also only on the second episode. Where on the last rogue theory, I was like, the TVA is ultimately gonna be the big bad. They're obviously like pushing this narrative that like Loki has to be good. He can't be the hero. So they're like, we need you to fix all this shit. Like you can't die a hero. You're our timeline, or you're messing up my timeline. Sorry, I forget. You guys have to bleep things out. And so you're messing up the timeline. But side note, now as we're getting further in, there's more people talking online. I also don't think Kang the Conqueror is coming, but we can't act like Ravonna, his wife. Yeah, we can't act like she's not there. Like, right? We can't. I feel like not enough people are talking about the fact that she's there in this series, and there's gonna be something. I don't know if it's gonna be the same thing that happened in Doctor Strange, where we're like, she's been lied to this entire time by the TVA, which makes her turn. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say that she's a bad person, but I think she's gonna be like, oh my gosh, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She's gonna be like Captain. Oh my God, Captain America, the new Captain.
John Walker.
She's gonna be like so. Yeah, she's gonna be so blinded by the TVA that she's just gonna be doing bad things. So I think I don't think she's. I think the TVA ultimately is bad. Maybe that umbrella is like encompassing her in it as well, because it's just like now I'm seeing her more that I'm like, she's gonna do something bad.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna do something. When she picked up her her freaking stick, whatever you want to call that weapon, I was like, she's pushing herself in this to try to fix it, but she's gonna make it worse.
Yeah, I think she might be an unwitting threat.
Yeah.
Like the fact that she's been this judge for the TVA. I think we can all agree the TVA is at least flawed in its design,
Oh,
if not
for sure.
outright
Oh, yeah.
corrupt or malintentioned.
okay.
But I think she's just like carrying out. She's just following orders. She's doing her job.
What
and
if?
She's not, and she might have to make a moral choice at some point.
I was about to say what if, but then I think that's too close to it always comes back to me with like, I think it's too close to what happened with S.H.I.E.L.D. with the situation of like, oh, what if someone's in there acting like, so if we did have a Mobius Loki, would that be too close to like the whole S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra situation of like someone's in here
They're all LMDs,
We're
guys.
talking
They're
out
all
of theories.
life model decoys.
Yeah.
LMD. I feel like LMDs.
We're talking
are coming
it out.
soon.
We're talking it out.
The MCU is going to do LMDs, but I don't know. I feel like we're doing Secret Invasion soon, and we're doing like we're introducing variants and all that stuff. Like I feel like. And Loki's like a shapeshifter. I feel like Marvel's just like whatever at this point. Like, you know, things aren't what they seem sometimes, and like that's okay.
Right.
So
yeah. Well, Feige said this was really important for the future of the MCU. So that's probably because all the branches of timelines.
Well, we just created the multiverse, right?
But,
that's what that meant. In the MCU, we have now Loki. The Loki variant has created the multiverse.
Or recreated,
and we don't know how many
multiverse.
doors that she. Oh, there was a multiverse first. There was the war.
Yeah, like it's just the multiverse now is just like
this one. We don't know where she's
going.
gone.
The multiverse is still existing. It's just not allowed to grow anymore, which is.
Are we supposed to assume that Lady Loki, has been going into every door and making every time bomb?
Well, no. I mean, I think we have 4 more episodes. They may successfully prune most of these, I think, or it could get worse, caused by someone else, or it could all get completely unraveled, and then someone trying to restart the sacred timeline makes a multiverse of madness. You know, I don't think the show is not done. There's still a lot more left to mess up.
I'm kind of lasered in on what Loki said about going to the different every time point they went to was some sort of disaster, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe this Loki is trying to prevent some sort of big disaster that's meant to happen in a timeline, like in our present or something, and the TVA won't allow it because it's supposed to happen. Kind of Avengery, I don't know. Is that maybe that's?
It ties into your first theory of maybe that's why they're making sure that like not Ragnarok but New Asgard it doesn't go under, and all of them are their souls are all spurted all over the place. Maybe there is a Loki.
Because there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of crazy Asgardian realms crap that happens. So like I'm sure there's so many disasters that Loki could be actually trying to prevent and throwing the scent off by like doing all this stuff everywhere else. I don't know.
No,
I think that's a great idea.
That's a really great
And that's a point that's going to get you a Rogie, my friend. Woo-woo! That plus your Dario Agger idea.
Excellent theory,
so you win this round, Matt. But there's still another conversation I want to have in a moment. First, some announcements. Over at NewRockstarsMerch.com, we have unveiled the 4th shirt design in our limited edition latest Obsession series, Loki Out of Time. Ooh. Buying the latest Obsession shirt will give you the ability to leave a message on our Inside Marvel Loki After Show with either a shout out or your own rogue theory, and it'll show up on screen during the show. And we've got a full lineup of Loki inspired merch, including an augmented reality shirt, Miss Minute stickers, TVA buttons, and other cool stuff that hasn't even been released yet. So go find it all over at newrockstarsmerch.com. And we want to thank Stamps.com for sponsoring this episode. Are you still going to the post office and paying full price for postage? Well, thanks to Stamps.com, you don't have to anymore. Mail and ship anytime, anywhere, right from your computer. Stamps.com brings the services of the U.S. Postal Service and UPS right to your computer, whether you're a small office sending invoices, a side hustle Etsy shop shipping out orders, or just navigating this hybrid work life. Stamps.com can handle it all with ease. No wonder 1 million businesses choose Stamps.com for their mailing and shipping. Once your mail is ready, just schedule a pickup or drop it off. With Stamps.com, you'll get discounts up to 40% off post office rates and up to 66% off UPS shipping rates. Stamps.com is a no-brainer, saving you time and money. So stop wasting time going to the post office and go to Stamps.com instead. There's no risk, and with promo code ROGUE, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Rogue. That's Stamps.com, promo code Rogue. Stamps.com, never go to the post office again. We also want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. Is there something interfering with your happiness, preventing you from achieving your goals? Yeah, you lose a lot of sleep when you're trying to find all the Easter eggs in Loki, and sometimes you need that sleep, and then, the things that you miss start to weigh on you, and you just need someone to talk to. Well, BetterHelp is a great person to talk to, because BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online. The service is available for clients worldwide and has a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available in many areas. So log into your account anytime and send a message to your counselor. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches so that they can make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Visit betterhelp.com/rogue, that's better HELP, and join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. Special offer for the Rogue Theory audience. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/rogue. Let's move on to some Spider-Man news. There's this tweet this week from Sony Argentina that caused a bit of a stir because it shows the logo for the upcoming Spider-Man No Way Home film with a glitching logo that many say is reminiscent of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh boy.
So, could this be hinting at a connection between two different film universes? Or is this maybe the presence of Jamie Foxx's Electro causing everything to glitch? What does this mean? Go Rogue, my baby.
God, I hope so. I hope to God that they're going to cross over into the Spider-Verse with, whatever live action Sony Spider-Verse plans that they're doing, because Into the Spider-Verse is fantastic. And they've already set at the end of Into the Spider-Verse 1, they do set up, this greater Spider-Verse adventure. So if that Spider-Verse adventure ties into whatever they're doing in No Way Home, let's get it. I'm all about it. So I think there is a possibility there. I don't see why not. The time, in terms of the release of these films, sort of line up. And Sony seems full speed ahead with their Spider-Verse plan. So maybe this could actually be. I think it could. I think it could very well be a Spider-Verse tease.
I do think that it's going to be related to the multiverse. And I think that Spider-Verse, Miles and Peter, everyone's multiverse is part of that. I don't think it's going to be directly. I don't think we're going to see as much, of Miles and stuff into this. I think it's going to just be oh, this exists within that scope. But I don't think we're going to get that just yet. But I do think it's part acknowledging that it does exist within that world. But I don't think we're going to see Miles and stuff yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I think I understand what you're saying. You're saying that the Into the Spider-Verse, whatever they're doing is going to be, it might be referenced in a live action type deal, but it's pretty much its own separate thing.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be directly correlated to Electro though from Amazing Spider-Man. I really do. I think that's the connection. He's coming in from a multiverse. Yeah. Maybe, people know Peter Parker Spider-Man, so that's going to tap into he's going to reach out to someone for help, maybe Doctor Strange or whatever, but it's going to cause some sort of risk which will allow, which will bring Electro over. I think that's the Electro's the thread there. I don't think we're going to see just yet. I do think that Spider-Verse the movie will have a cameo of some sort. I think they're going to go there, but I don't think No Way Home is. Oh,
got it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think just because Sony is definitely developing its own thing with the animated version with that world, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow they start to cross-reference each other. But I do think it's pretty possible that in the live action side of things, we might get a character named Miles Morales introduced. And I think Sony should do it sooner rather than later, because that is a fascinating character and he needs to be in live action.
Do you think it's going to be related to Aaron Davis, Donald Glover?
They already did the homework. They already established a character named Miles who's Donald Glover's nephew living in this universe. They could just cast him.
But you're thinking it's going to be that Miles from our MCU universe, not a different Miles, right?
Well, yeah, it would be if No Way Home is MCU. Yeah. It's in this weird kind of Venn diagram overlap between Sony's thing, but it's technically MCU. Yeah.
There could be a possibility that Doc Ock and him are variants that are now jumping timelines, or jumping out.
No, I think that is 1,000% what is going to happen, because Electro died in his movie. That Jamie Foxx Electro is dead. And I think that whatever characters we are going to get are going to be some type of variant.
You guys are just blowing my mind. You guys are so great. That's amazing. I love that. I just want to see that in some form. That's amazing.
Well, it'd be funny, or not funny, but it'd be fun if the opening is not even an opening, but when the villains are appearing in No Way Home, it's just shock lightning from the sky and out drops just Electro, and it's just
that would be cool.
I made it.
That would-
Look, I made it to this timeline. And it's Jamie Foxx, and he's like, I made it. But no, I think I was like, I really did believe. I was like, of course it was a connection. I watched the clip. I watched the electric part, and it does look the same as the Spider-Verse's animation when it says like Sony Studios. So I did believe that those were connected. But listening to Matt talk, I don't think it's connected. That's true. I agree. I don't.
Yeah, I think it's definitely most likely not going to connect to any animated stuff. But like, I think it'd be fun.
It's probably just
Crazy.
it's doing exactly what it's meant to do. It's getting us talking about the movie before any trailers come out. Keep it fresh and relevant. You know what I mean? It's just a red herring. You know, it's like
All right, great theories, everyone. Let's move on to Rogue Question. So our question today is, A Quiet Place 2 was the top movie of the box office last week, and it's become the first movie of 2021 to make $100 million. So what is the quietest way that they can celebrate their accomplishments?
I think they should do a silent disco.
They're so unsettling when you don't have the headphones in. It's
I like it, but then when you take them off, it's that immediate instant of like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever been to.
I got a real weird one.
Go for it.
I kind of think they've been working hard. You know, I don't know if they shot the third one yet, but look, they need a break, so they're all gonna go to one of those like sensory, like depraved like rooms. That's like there's like a little bit of water, and they're just gonna lie there.
I love those things. I
But-
did the one once. They're so good.
But then like they're each gonna go to each other's rooms
I
and like
love
just
those
like ASMR, like you did really great. And they, like, walk away, and then they're gonna take turns. You know what I mean?
That's a really fun one. You know what? I'm just gonna be weird.
That's a
and
fun
Let's
one.
just do like a mimed pinata party. It's just like there's no actual stuff. It's just like it's a fake pinata, fake stick, and you're just swinging, just to have it all
Ting.
a fake. It's a fake stick. No one talks. It's just
It's
that you
a fake
talk.
pinata and a fake stick.
You have to use your imagination. Have
It's
you
just
not seen
space
Hook?
work.
How you
There's
know
a bunch
it's a
of space
pinata?
Hook when they eat the imaginary food. Come on, man. It's all about the power of imagination.
I do want to see all three, but unfortunately we can only have one winner, and the winner is going to be Matt this episode.
Yay!
Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you.
And thank you to all three of you for your theories. A lot of great
Yay.
conversation here happened for Loki. I can't wait to see episode 3. But that is it for this episode of Rogue Theory. Thank you to all three of our guests, Jessica Clemons, MT, Matt Acevedo. Follow all of them on their social medias and support their various projects. You can support our channel by checking in with our new Loki-themed merch at newrockstarsmerch.com. Follow me at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars. Subscribe here on YouTube, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Take it easy.
Bye.